Hey rich friends, becoming a millionaire is a big deal. For most people, that means financial freedom. And when you think about millionaire, we imagine private jets, big houses, flashy lifestyles, six-figure salaries, or wealthy parents who helped us get there. But the truth is that most millionaires are not who you think they are. But research tells us a very different story. One that proves that wealth is not about income, it's not about how you were raised, it's not about whether your parents were rich or not, but it's about mindset, habits, and small choices consistently practiced over time. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some shocking millionaire statistics around 5 different areas of their life. How do they invest? How do they live on a day-to-day basis? Their education, their work, their family. And we're going to look at those surprising statistics. The goal of this video is just for you to be aware and for you to be shocked, actually, in case you have reading yourself out of being a millionaire or you think it's going to take you 4 decades to achieve millionaire status. This video, I'm hoping to shock you to realize that achieving financial freedom and being a millionaire is actually within reach. If you are new here, welcome. I am a chartered financial analyst. I am a former investment banker, and I spent over 7 years advising millionaires and billionaires on how to make, keep, and grow their money. And on this channel, I love to share practical advice for you to build wealth. Let's start looking at their investing lifestyle. How do millionaires invest? Before we get into it, this video talks about the National Study of Millionaires, which was a research that was conducted by Ramsey Solutions. In that study, they assessed over 10,000 United States millionaires to gain an understanding of the personal finance behaviors that they engaged in that contributed to their success. This study is so far the largest, most significant research project on this topic that has been published, so it definitely holds a lot of value for you and I who are trying to build wealth and become millionaires ourselves. Let's start by looking at investing. How do millionaires invest? Firstly, majority of all millionaires said that they earned their millions or they became financially free through long-term investing, basically investing for a long term, 5, 10 years, 15 years, and so on and so forth. They did not become rich by investing today and cashing out next year, investing today and cashing out after 6 months. They invested their money through patient, long-term investing. Most billionaires also said that they did not build their wealth through single stock investing. So what that means is like investing in only one stock, putting all your money in Tesla, putting all your money in Apple, putting all your money in Google. Most millionaires did not earn their money that way. Most millionaires invested through a diversified strategy. So they invested their money in a basket of securities, and that was how they got, their massive return. 8 out of 10 millionaires said that they invested in their company's 401k plan, and that was a key step in their financial success. Also, 3 out of 4 millionaires said that beyond the 401k plan, they also invested outside. So if you have still not invested in your 401k, if you don't know what it is, I have a video about 401ks and retirement accounts. I'm going to link it up here for you to go and watch. Let's look at their daily habits. How did millionaires live on a day-to-day basis? 94% of the millionaires in this survey said that they lived on less than what they earn. Even though they don't have to worry about money anymore, these guys are still living below their means. And nearly 3/4 of millionaires said that they never carry credit card debt. So on a day-to-day basis, they're making spending choices that ensure that they are in line with their goals. They're living below their means. They are not carrying credit card debt. They're not buying things that they cannot afford. One that was very shocking to me is that 85% of the participants in this survey said that they used a shopping list as a way to curb extra expenses when they went shopping. So if they go for grocery shopping or they want to go buy clothes in a store, they have a list. They set an intention before they go into that store. So they are not caught unawares by shiny things on the counter, making them to buy more than they planned. And this is one of the key habits that I mentioned in my video about hacks to help you save money faster. I'll link it up here as well. The 5th hack in that video was the power of thinking ahead, of setting an intention, of thinking before, in the beginning of every week, asking yourself, what do I need for this week? And writing the needs down and then tackling it deliberately instead of waiting until you have a need, you have an emergency to start doing something. And it's very surprising and also reassuring to see that most millionaires do the same thing. They think before they go to the grocery store. They don't go to the grocery store and begin thinking about what to buy. And what that was shocking to me here was that most millionaires said that they spent less than $200 on restaurants. And I'm like, that means they're eating at home, they're making their own meals, they are not being extravagant even when they do go to restaurants. And 93% of these millionaires also said that they use coupons, like they take advantage of deals, they buy things on sale, they negotiate a right price, which is very surprising for me personally, who I hardly buy things on sale, I hardly use coupons, not because I'm being reckless with my money, but I just feel like sometimes sales can trick you to buy more. But it looks like most millionaires use coupons, deals as a wealth building strategy because they're spending less than they typically would have spent. So this was very shocking for me, and I was like, okay, something for me to start working on in my life. Third, let's look at work. What do most millionaires do for work? From this survey, only 15% of these millionaires were in senior roles, that is CEO, CFO, COO, like C-suite. Only 15%. That's a very small percentage of millionaires are in top positions. And 93% of these millionaires said that they made their money because they work hard, not because they earn massive salaries. So if you feel like I need to earn a massive salary to be a millionaire, not really. You just have to work hard. Whatever you're doing, do it well, continue to grow in your career, and over time, you will see your efforts pay off. One that was very shocking to me was that only 31% of these millionaires earned over $100,000 a year. And 1/3 of these people never made 6 figures in their life. This one was very shocking because I also, for the longest of time, thought that the more money you have, the easier it is for you to save. But clearly these guys are not earning 6 figures, but they're able to save and still invest, and over time get themselves to $1 million in net worth. Another surprising one for me was the top 5 careers for millionaires were engineer, accountant, teacher, management, and attorney. I feel like the attorney one, I get it because like lawyers get paid a lot of money. Management one as well, I get it because, if you're in management, you're probably earning a lot of money. But I was shocked about the teacher and the engineer, right? And the accountant, but like, I don't know, I guess from this survey, clearly it's possible. What I took away from this survey was when you're thinking about your financial future, your career is important. Like you need to critically think about whatever career that you're going into. Like don't go into a career that you definitely not make money. There's some careers that, the goal of those careers are not to make money. A lot of humanitarian careers, for example. But if your goal is to make a lot of money and you're thinking about your career, what this is showing me is like, there's a wide spectrum of millionaires. That's my point. Like, there's no one, like, okay, for you to be a millionaire, you have to be a doctor. For you to be a millionaire, you have to be a lawyer. You have to, be a professor, for example. There's a wide range of careers within which you can build wealth. And at the end of the day, it comes back to living within your means, not carrying that credit card debt, saving your money aggressively. Like, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. On this point as well, education, I was very curious to see the education level of millionaires. And this one I was not very surprised about was that 88% of millionaires had a college degree, which is higher than the national average of about 38% of the US population having degrees. Millionaires typically are well educated, better educated than the average population. And I think that makes sense because as they've increased their education level, most times to translate to better, outcomes in their career, to translate to higher pay in their career, more opportunities in their career, to make money. So I think this one made sense. Almost half, or a little bit over half, of the respondents in this survey had a master's degree. So like beyond the college, they went a level higher. They had either a master's degree or a PhD. So these guys are very highly educated, which again makes sense because if you are investing, if you are making these critical financial decisions, you need to be sharp, right? You need to know what's happening in the economy. You need to be educated to an extent. So this one makes sense to me that a lot of millionaires were very, very educated. But what was shocking to me was that almost 2/3 of this, so like 62% of these millionaires got their degrees from public colleges. They didn't go to Ivy League schools. I think that was a shocking one for me. They didn't go to Ivy League schools. They got their, their degrees from like regular public colleges. And this goes to show that it's the degree that matters, not necessarily like the brand of the university. It's the knowledge, the education that you get from it, and what you use the knowledge and the education for matters more than, just like the brand, the school that you went to. This was very helpful for me because I made a video about middle class purchases that keep people poor, and I'll link that video here. And in that video, I spoke about extravagant expenses like student loans, massive student loans from going to Ivy League schools, or just big name schools for no reason. Like if you have no other choice, yeah, great. If you get a scholarship, yeah, great. But you're just going to a school just for the brand accolade when you actually do not need it. And to do that, you are racking up like hundreds of thousands of debt. It may not be the best financial strategy. So it's so refreshing to see that a lot of millionaires also, got their degrees from like public colleges. Now, last but not least, let's talk about family. What kind of families do millionaires come from, and what kind of families do they have? I'm not very surprised by this, but many millionaires did not grow up with money. They grew up low to medium class. 79% of millionaires in the United States did not receive an inheritance from their parents. 79% did not receive an inheritance. So if your parents don't give you an inheritance, it's time for you to stop hating your parents. Time for you to stop being angry with your parents, because most millionaires did not receive inheritance. And what that means is that being a millionaire is easy and is attainable for most people, irrespective of whether your parents gave you a head start in life or not. Only 2% of millionaires came from high-income families. And of the ones that received inheritances, only about 3% received over $1 million in inheritances. So like only 3% of these millionaires just became rich because of daddy's money. Many of them still had to make, good decisions even with the money that they received. And many of them, came from low to middle income families. And this for me was very refreshing, very inspiring. It shows grass to grace story is possible no matter what your background is. When you wake up is your morning. Like from today, you can start your own journey to financial freedom by, applying all the good old personal finance advice that you hear on the internet. Live below your means. Save the difference between your income and expenses. Pay off your credit card debt. Don't spend more than you can afford to spend. Set financial boundaries. Have a budget. Use a shopping list. There's a ton of personal finance advice on this channel, on the internet. If you begin to apply it, you'll be on your way to building wealth. Let me know which of these statistics was shocking. And if you like this video, then I think you should go and watch my video about the middle class purchases that would block your way to wealth. And this video is important, especially if, again, you did not grow up around money, which most millionaires did not. There's no shame in it, but you need to be aware, because right now, you may still be buying things, spending your money in a middle class way that is actually blocking your path to being a millionaire. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay rich and build wealth. Bye.